Good evening, everyone. It is Erin Delia, and I welcome you to Conscious Posture and Breathing class tonight. I'm very excited to go through and explore what it is to be in good posture, what it is to have conscious posture, and to be breathing at the same time. Because often, as humans going through the environment, we are usually breathing from a smaller, shallower place. Not everyone wants to be seen. We all have our different issues. So let's dive in. Today, we are going to explore what it is to consciously feel the body in different positions, nothing too intense, whilst breathing in different ways. We'll start with maybe some box breathing, and then we'll move into some diaphragmatic breath while in posture to see what that brings up. So let's talk about the body, the mind, and the emotional state, which can often be triggered in various ways in breath and in movement. One of the ways that I like to point out the most, especially while teaching yoga, is when we come out of posture and you're standing there or sitting on the mat and you want to reorganize your clothes. You want to make sure that, you pick this or you move that or you pull that down so that you're not exposed in some way that maybe to you isn't acceptable. And I often encourage people at those points to not. When we're in a yoga room, we're in a safe space. We're not being judged by others. Most of the time, everyone else's eyes are closed, and it's just the teacher and you. And in that moment, challenge yourself to not rearrange your clothing. And we're going to explore that in class today because it does bring up an instant physical, emotional reaction that your mind will play with. Let's break that down a little bit. Often when we feel something, a sensation in the body, like your clothing's out of place. In the past, somewhere in your life, I'm sure somebody said something to you that made you self-conscious. And so in that way, you always organized yourself in a way that never exposed you or had something out of place in that way again, so that you would never have to feel someone coming at you and saying, hey, that wasn't cool, or hey, isn't that funny, right? It's like having toilet paper on your foot when you walk out of the bathroom. Once it's happened, you probably will never have it happen to you again. So our movement from day to day, as we go from sitting to standing, from an office to a restaurant, to walking outside, to driving in our car, is all a series of your physical sensations and what feels comfortable to you, how the world is perceiving you while you're in it, to what you're actually feeling and how your mind is adjusting to that. And our breath connects to that in that when we are breathing, a shallow breath from the chest can mean that we're maybe a little anxious. Maybe we're a little bit stressed out at the moment. Maybe we are really not sure of our environment and who's in it, or we're super confident, right? Complete 180. We're totally confident. We don't care. We're just going to be relaxed. We're in our sweats. We don't care what our hair and makeup looks like, or, whatever our baseball cap is. The spectrum goes back and forth. And often when we're in that comfortable space where we're super confident in what we're doing, we're breathing in a very comfortable way. We're maybe even diaphragm breathing. We're taking those nice elongated breaths, and we're not rushing through the experience because our body is in relaxation. But in the flip side of that, when we're in an anxious moment or we're driving and someone just cuts you off, you may be shallow chest breathing because you're high anxiety. And that's a default that most of us are not consciously aware of. And for those of us who have gone to extremes to explore healing and to explore what it is to relieve stress and tension in the environment, then we often have learned to use a box breath, use a diaphragmatic breath, use inhale through the mouth and exhale through a whistle sound, inhale through the nose and whistle through pursed lips. All of these different techniques in breath work can help alleviate the physical stress that we are experiencing that's causing the high emotions, that's causing our mind to need to balance out what's happening so that we don't overreact to our environment or put ourselves in physical harm. Sounds like a lot. In all honesty, you do it in the back of your mind every day. Every time you choose to get up and get out of bed, you are constantly justifying and rationalizing in your mind, consciously and subconsciously, what's preparing you to walk through the day, walk through your environment so that you have the best opportunity for survival, to be stress-free, and to be happy. And that is an average, let's just say. Not all of us maintain that average, but we're always trying. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to take us through some breath work standing and breath work sitting, and I'm going to have you do some very light yogic postures in which I'm consciously going to ask you to breathe in movement, to breathe in stillness, to breathe in light movement and holding it, and to come back to stillness, to start exploring consciously, what are you feeling? What is that limit that I might normally run over because I'm used to touching my toes, but you don't really have to touch your toes, right? Because maybe in this moment I sat too long today and my hamstrings are really tight, and I just have to be really honest with myself about where I am and take a deep breath. And maybe you just breathe in that belly breath for a little bit until my body relaxes and then gives me flexibility. So, a little disclaimer first for all of us who maybe have or have not practiced this before. Breath work in general, especially when you bring yourself to a state of relaxation, can be a little hard for some of us if you are constantly in anxiety, you have other PTSD-like disorders, or any of things of those natures. So I always say that you should take the time to, if you are exploring this for the first time and you're having a reaction, to stop what you're doing, come to your natural cadence, maybe take a seat comfortably someplace, and just breathe a little bit at your natural rhythm. You don't have to come back to class, but you can explore this maybe later in a safer environment with an in-person one-on-one specialist. If you are pregnant at the moment on any level of your pregnancy, I always recommend that you do this within the realm of supervision, and or if you're a really practiced person, then go ahead and do it, but always be mindful of what your body and your baby is telling you. For the rest of us, we are going to enjoy this ride. I hope you've left yourself a little bit of space today so that you kind of get up and do some light movements, and a chair, or if you are on the floor, for being comfortable later on. So with that said, let's get into practice. I'm going to push my chair back today. Parched mouth. Alrighty, so I'd like you to come to just standing up in front of your chair. Give yourself enough space where you're not going to back up into it. And let's just talk about consciously standing. Like, let's explore what that is and what it is to use all of your feet. If you are barefoot, this is awesome. If you are not, that's okay too. You can still experience this. So when we look at our feet, I'd love for you to stand shoulder width apart. The easiest way to understand what that is, outside of looking at your feet, is taking your two hands in this fist-like position. If you can bend over safely, putting it between the balls of your feet, aligning your feet so that they are parallel to one another, and standing up. Looking down at the feet as they are parallel and standing, dropping the tailbone a little bit, coming up through the spine, rolling our shoulders back, and imagining someone's got a marionette string at the top of your head, just pulling you up. Now, immediately, if you didn't see me, and you might do this yourself, you might feel, oh my God, this is just kind of weird, right? I'm pressing into the balls of my feet, and maybe I'm pressing into the toes of my feet, I'm feeling my heels on the ground, and immediately my feet want to turn outward because maybe my legs are a little tight today. So for me, I'm feeling that consciousness of, it feels a little alien in my own body to be standing like this. Because maybe I haven't been practicing my posture and breathing at the same time. So just in this moment, take some time to let your arms just kind of hang by your side with your shoulders rolled back, your head up high, your tailbone slightly tucked. If you want to close your eyes, please feel free to do so at this moment. And if not, just pick a space on the wall in front of you and stare gently at it. Whilst we're here, we're going to just start some really basic box breathing. We're going to go in through the nose and out through the nose at a 4 count. We're going to inhale, hold, exhale, hold at the same 4 count. And we'll begin now. Inhaling in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, exhaling, 2, 3, 4, holding at the bottom of the breath, 2, 3, 4, inhaling through the nose, 3, 4, holding at the top of the breath, 3, 4, exhaling through the nose or mouth, 3, 4, holding at the bottom of the breath. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, holding, exhaling, holding. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding. And now I want you to come back to your normal rhythm, not move. Just continue to explore, what does this feel like? As you're coming to the natural cadence of your breath, start to make some general awareness. Starting with the top of your head, feeling what your head feels like, letting your consciousness kind of roll over, feel your face, your cheeks, your nose, your lips, your chin, coming down into the neck, feeling your shoulders, coming down your arms to your elbows, to your forearms and hands, coming down into the chest, your upper abdomen, your middle abdomen, your lower abdomen, feeling the top of your back, the middle of your back, your lower back, and your hips, feeling your legs, your knees, your calves and shins, your ankles and feet firmly planted on the ground. How does this feel? Does it still feel a little alien having your feet hip width apart, parallel to each other, shoulders rolled back, tailbone slightly tucked? One of the things I love to notice when I work on my posture like this, what doesn't hurt? It's an interesting question to ask yourself. Over the years, as I go through different decades of my life, I've noticed that poor posture has led to certain pain, and that when I correct my posture, those pains go away. And as you're standing here, consciously watch yourself breathe. Are you breathing from your chest? Are you breathing from your belly? Just witness it. Is it a shorter breath or a longer breath? Just notice where it's coming from. Don't change it. And as we're breathing here, see if you can start breathing from the belly. Our diaphragmatic breath means we're inhaling through the nose and allowing the stomach to expand outward as we're breathing, and as we're exhaling, letting it collapse. Slowly inhaling through the belly and relax, exhale. If you need to, take one of your hands and place it on your navel just underneath your rib cage and feel yourself inhaling, expanding the stomach, and exhaling, letting the stomach fall. While you're breathing from this area, do you happen to notice that you might feel differently? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel like somebody is watching you hold your hand while you're breathing through your belly? Are you having a reaction? Is your mind trying to justify this reaction? And can you stand here, presumably by yourself, and just breathe? Letting your hand drop again by your side if you had it on your abdomen. Breathing at whatever is your normal cadence, but doing it through the belly. When you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. Look down at your feet. Did you move your feet while you were breathing? Did you have that itch that you needed to scratch like I just did? Did you notice something different that once you relaxed into the standing posture that you now, maybe it doesn't feel so alien anymore. Maybe it feels a little bit more comfortable than your normal standing position. Taking a few moments, go ahead and wiggle it out. Get some movement in if you need to. We're gonna do just some mountain pose into half moon, and it's really just gonna kind of elongate the spine and bring a little bit more space and consciousness into the body with a little light movement. Now, if you do yoga regularly, hurrah. If you do not, this is not a big bend, flexy, sideways moment. This is the opportunity for you to explore movement in your body and where something might be tight. If you feel resistance, if you feel like, oh, I could go further, but it kind of feels tight, or kind of I'm enjoying the stretch, I'm gonna ask you to come back out 10% and go in a little bit and find the line where you can sit there and breathe comfortably, because that's the point of our conscious exercise tonight. So with that said, we're going to bring our feet together as best we can. If your feet touch together, phenomenal. If it doesn't, I totally understand. Do your best. Maybe your heels don't touch or just your toes touch. Whatever that is that works for you. You're going to plant your feet down on the ground. I want you to feel the balls of your feet. I want you to feel your toes on the ground. And I want you to move your weight back into your heels a little bit. Feeling your heels on the ground, moving back to the balls of your feet and your toes, and then coming back into your heels. Just taking a few moments to explore this feeling. And when you can, see if you can evenly balance out all of your weight between your balls and toes of your feet and the heel of your feet. Keeping your legs together, letting your knees be soft. We don't want to lock those out. Pressing from the hips down into the ground, dropping your tailbone ever so slightly, rising up through the abdomen area, rolling our shoulders back and down, and bringing our head and neck up straight as we can, and just enjoying this moment. Then we're going to inhale through our nose, through our belly breath, letting your belly rise, bringing our hands together in front of our chest in a prayer position where all of our fingers and hands are just gently pressing against each other. Taking a moment to notice that pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, inhaling and exhaling through the nose with the belly breath. How does this feel? You can gently stare ahead at the wall or stare at the screen, whatever might work best for you. Take a few moments to just enjoy feeling yourself pressing evenly down into the feet through the hips, but rising up through the spine, dropping the shoulders and our hands together in a prayer position. On the next inhalation in, we're going to rise the arms up over the head, however that's available for you. Interlacing our fingers together, and we're going to take our pointer fingers and point them up. As we're pointing up, Your arms might not make it where they're aligned with your ears. Your arms might only be able to go out in front of you tonight because maybe you're really tight. So try to find the space where you're pressing down into your feet. You're rising up through your arms. You're taking your shoulders away from your ears, allowing your hands to be together, letting your head look forward, straight ahead. And now there's a little bit of duality that I'm asking of you right now. I'm asking you to consciously press through your hips down into your heels and the balls of your feet, whilst allowing your arms and hands to raise up towards the ceiling, rising the vertebra, and inhaling through your belly breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Now our belly breaths do not have to be deep. Take the moment to explore your breath in this moment. Explore any sensations that might come up. Are you getting warm? Are you cold? Do you feel out of place and weird? Do you feel completely comfortable and blissful? Are your arms getting tired? If they are, come out 10%. Come out until you can hold them there and breathe in this way and extend yourself consciously down through your feet and up through your hands and just be okay for this moment. And as you continue breathing, intentionally inhale through the nose, using your belly breath. Rise your shoulders up ever so slightly. And as we come, we're going to bend to our right side. We're going to press into our left foot, push our left hip out to the side ever so slightly first. Let our body start turning over to the right, keeping our arms nice and straight, keeping our fingers nice and relaxed. Keeping our left shoulder pressed back ever so slightly, letting the right shoulder come forward. And we're still breathing in through the nose and out through the nose with our belly breath. Find the space where you can sit here and breathe comfortably, pressing down through the left hip into the left foot and right foot on the ground, rising up through the left shoulder and over with the arms, staring ahead. Relax your face and allow yourself to breathe here. As we're breathing, are you struggling? If you're struggling a little bit, there's no reason why you can't. No one is judging you today. Come out, find a place where you can keep breathing. If you feel like you can go a little bit more, go a little bit more. But just find that space, find that edge where you can comfortably exist, pressing down actively into the feet, rising up and over with the upper half of your body and breathing peacefully. The next inhalation, press it into the feet, rise the body up, reach up towards the ceiling, relax the shoulders. We're going to go to the other side now. So we're going to press into our right foot, pushing our right hip out to the right, just ever so slightly, as the top of our body comes over to the side, to the left side. We're going to press our right shoulder back ever so gently, whatever's comfortable for you. Hitting our left shoulder forward, keeping our hips nice and square, keeping our head straight. And find that place where you can breathe comfortably. Now, this side might be different than the other side. Maybe you're tighter. Maybe you're looser. Every day, it can be a new challenge for you to go ahead and explore. And I ask you to do that every time you decide to practice this. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose in a diaphragmatic breath. Letting your abdomen expand on the inhale and letting it fall on the exhale. Find your space where you are comfortable. Relax your face. If you're secretly cursing me through the camera whilst practicing this, then come out a little bit more and find that space where you can just be here and breathe. If your lower back is hurting or your upper back is hurting or your shoulders are screaming at you, come out. Find your place. It's okay if you don't look like Gumby, if you're just like a normal human being like the rest of us, stretching a little bit for your day. As you continue to inhale, exhale. Next inhalation, press into the feet, rise the body up, reach up to the ceiling, drop your shoulders. And at this point, I want you to take your hands. We're going to do a little bit of a back bend. So just gentle with this. We're pressing evenly into our feet, dropping that tailbone. And I want you just to tightly take your glutes and squeeze them a little bit. This is going to protect our lower back while allowing our abdomen to open up. With that said, we're going to inhale through our diaphragmatic breath. We're going to start looking up at the ceiling and allowing our body and our hands to come back. The guide for this type of posture is that as far as you can look back is as far as your upper body can comfortably go. We're still actively and consciously pressing through our hips down into our feet. We're actively clenching our glutes to protect our lower back, rising up through the chest and then back with our arms, breathing in and out through our nose using diaphragmatic breath. If you are struggling or trembling, almost like I am right now, trying to talk and do this posture at the same time, come out a little bit. Find your space where you can coexist, doing all these things at once and breathing. And your next inhale, rise up through the chest, looking up, bringing the arms forward, looking forward. Relaxing the shoulders. We're going to separate the hands, keeping them hands facing each other. We're going to do a little bend forward to kind of relax our spine at this point. And what we're going to do is slightly bend our knees as deeply as you can for the moment and start to hitch at the hips, inhaling diaphragmatic breath, exhaling diaphragmatic breath, and start to hitch forward, bringing your arms forward and down, pressing into all points of your feet. We're going to take our arms and we're going to wrap them around our calves. If you're more flexible, they can go down to your feet. If you're less flexible tonight, they can be the top of your calves, but not the back of your knee. While we're continuing to breathe, allow yourself to find a place that's comfortable here and allow your head to just dangle. Pressing strongly into your toes, gripping with those toes, inhaling through the nose, out through the nose. Keeping your eyes open while we're bent over forward is super important. Maybe you're staring at your feet, maybe you're staring between your feet, whatever works. You can use your arms as you tuck your elbows behind your legs to pull ever so slightly, opening up that spine. You want a deeper spinal movement. Try to bring your chin to your chest, keeping your eyes open. Inhaling and exhaling. And when you're ready, you're going to relax your hands and let them fall forward, still pressing into your feet. And we're going to start pressing into our feet as we slowly rise up, one vertebra at a time, one breath at a time. Letting the shoulders gently roll, keeping your eyes open. Inhaling through that abdomen, coming up. And this is where we're going to do it. We're going to close our eyes, standing here if you can, and not move your clothing. Don't do it. Don't shake, don't wiggle, don't giggle. Just be here and breathe. Using that diaphragmatic breath coming from the abdomen, in and out through the nose at whatever your cadence is. What does it feel like to not move your clothes at this point? You're not picking a wedgie. You're not reorganizing your shorts. You're not moving your sports bra. Whatever it is, feel it. Does it come with a memory? Does it have a meaning behind it? Is there something else attached to it? Does it make you think 100,000 things and the first time it happened to you? Can you observe this happening whilst it's happening? Not participate, not explain, not rationalize, just let the experience happen. You ready? Slowly open your eyes. And now wiggle and giggle. Go ahead and move your clothes, do whatever. Wiggle your feet out. If they're a little tired, that can happen sometimes when you really engage your feet and you're not used to it. So that really wraps up our conscious posture practice for today. I didn't want to do too much because I really wanted to focus on what does that feel like. And now I invite you to go ahead and sit down. I'm going to move mine up a little bit so I'm a bit closer to the camera. And at this point, find a position for yourself that's comfortable. Whether you're cross-legged on the floor or you're sitting in a chair, feet flat on the floor, spine nice and tall, putting your hands on your knees or thighs so that the elbows are close to the body so that the arms don't become too heavy. And take a moment to come into silence, closing your eyes, coming into stillness, using your diaphragmatic breath coming from the belly, whatever that natural cadence is, in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to feel your body. Do your feet tingle? Maybe your hands tingle? Maybe your spine feels a little bit longer. Your hips feel a little bit more grounded. Your shoulders and neck maybe don't hurt so much. Maybe you learned something about yourself today, that you maybe run over your limits, because sometimes your limits are not the same. They're not loud. Maybe sometimes they're quiet and they're waiting for you to notice them. And not that they'll always be there limiting you, but because they're there to help you learn something about yourself. Socrates said, "Know thyself," as the first words of the gateway of Delphi. It was a lesson of wisdom that in order for you to walk forward in your life, you must know who you truly are in the reality within yourself. And in that way, we have an opportunity at every moment to say, is this really me? Where's that edge again? I came at 10% of whatever it was I'm doing with a choice or a decision or an opportunity or a relationship. If I came out 10% and I found the space where I am comfortable, is that honoring me? Is that good for not only my environment, but my hopes and dreams? Is it necessary? Is it a want or is it a need? Sometimes creating the sacred space within ourselves allows us the opportunity to grow. And those limitations are no longer there because their wisdom has been given to you. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose from your belly. Spend a few moments just breathing like this, letting the stillness and expansiveness of what we created today to settle into us. And if you're having a lot of memories or thoughts or feelings or even sensations, bear witness to them. Try not to participate. Try not to itch every little scratch or wiggle every giggle, feel every feel, rationalize every thought. Those things are kind of like the radio. You can hear the music playing right now, but you're focused on me, and let that be just your breath. Feeling your belly move, feeling your lungs fill, letting the air go, letting your stomach fall. And see what happens for the next few minutes. You continue to breathe. And let your awareness feel the space just outside of your body. Move for 4 inches. Allow it to fill with light. Allow it to just envelop you in a beautiful golden light. Notice that with every breath you take into your belly, the light becomes a bit brighter. Ebbs and flows as you exhale, glowing even brighter as you inhale. And allow yourself to breathe. Notice that this is your safe space. The space around you and within you is always here for you to access. It is always present, always ready and willing to help you find stillness and balance. as you're continuing to breathe, slowly start to open your eyes, coming back to this reality. Notice that even now that your eyes are open and you're taking a new amount of data and energy in from the environment, you can still feel the space around you. You can still feel that golden light over every inch of your skin. And let it move forward with you into the rest of this week and beyond, my friends. To thank you so much, bringing our hands into prayer. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste. I hope that this class has helped you further develop and learn more about yourself, about the wisdom that comes with doing this work. That's why I've named this the Mystic Healing Alliance. For in these places of conscious awareness and stillness, we start to grow. We have a safe and an unlimited space to experience intensity and triggers and things that don't make sense to us, or maybe they're overwhelming. And so I hope that you share this class with anybody that might benefit from it. It might help them take their first step forward in cultivating any level of awareness, or maybe even just breathing and movement from a different place in their world. Because every step we take is empowering. Every moment allows us to empower ourselves, to elevate the way we think and act and choose to evolve. And that's the point, right? And that's why we call it consciousness or the collective. So I hope that you continue to follow along, whether you're on Meetup or YouTube or wherever you found this video today. And I so look forward to seeing you here again. From now until then, my friends, so much light, so much love. I'll see you there. Bye.